Oh man. All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. My name is Brandon, and I'm a high school principal from the U.S. state of Georgia. I am going to be looking at something today that you all have been asking for a very long time. Very popular show, I understand, but I have never seen it. It is a show called Disney's Recess. Very excited about that. Takes place in an elementary school. I don't know anything else about it other than that. So I'm very excited to get into it. I'm going to be looking at the very first episode today called The Break-In. Very excited about it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Just a reminder, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go. And I react like that because I know this show, I think I read that it was made in the late 90s. And just looking at it and hearing the title, I don't remember it, but somehow I remember this music, the theme to it. I do remember it. I'd never watched the show, but somehow I remember hearing the theme to the music at some point, either seeing it advertised or maybe it came on after something else that I watched. I don't know, but the music does sound familiar. I've heard this music. Oh, yeah. By the way, and I know this is just the intro, but I'll react to that too, since this is my first time seeing it. I'm guessing recess. It's recess at this school, or it centers around it. And I see the guy playing poker with chips. And even when this show was made, most schools were not going to allow that. Or even if they allowed playing cards, they weren't going to allow, chips, poker chips, gambling. That's not allowed at most schools, even when this show was produced. Okay. Oh. Recess is over. Yeah. Love the intro. I can't wait to see the actual show, but it's all sorts of shenanigans obviously going on during the intro. I saw the guy with the little trench coat selling fake report cards, which brings up a whole host of issues. So, and I remember something happening like that on an episode of The Simpsons. There was the guy selling like answers to the test. I've never actually seen that really in real life. Now I've seen students go to all sorts of lengths to try to hide the existence of bad grades, or to claim that they didn't have the report card when they really did, or claim that the school had not given out the report card when they really did, or forge a signature on a report card if they have to get it signed. But I've never seen someone sell a fake report card. That I haven't seen before. But let's get into the show. Breaking. Doesn't sound good.
Tomato surprise. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the lunchroom.
Last time I ate this stuff, my gut was on fire for a week. It's like acid.
Yeah, and I've talked about this a little bit before on shows that featured school lunchrooms. So it depends on where you are, and it depends on who's managing that lunchroom. Most school cafeterias are under the exact same restrictions and dietary requirements as far as the food that they're serving, but it is true that different places make it more palatable than others. And some cafeterias I used to love eating in, including at my current school. It's pretty good, actually. But I have been places where it wasn't particularly good. So I don't know why school cafeterias have this reputation in shows of being just horrible. Some of them are, honestly, but there's just as many of them that are awesome.
Citric acid, actually, and a carbon base electromagnetically heated to create a synthetic compound which has some admirable qualities.
You mean it's okay to eat?
No, I mean if you let it age, it can burn a hole in a concrete floor.
Doesn't have too far to go right now.
That's it. This time they've gone too far. All these years they've been feeding us fish sticks made out of cardboard, macaroni and cheese stuck together with paste, and now this. Well, I've had enough. I say it's time to go back there and find us the good food they've been keeping from us all along.
You gotta be crazy.
Maybe, but at least.
Yeah, and he says stuff like fish sticks made out of cardboard and pasted macaroni. Obviously not. That doesn't exist. And he also says, oh, let's go get the good food they have in the back. Again, anything they serve in any cafeteria has to comply with those nutrition guidelines I mentioned. Most schools do have menu items that are kind of preferred by students and even the staff, but obviously you can't just serve the same thing all the time. You do have to sort of rotate through, but I'm curious what he's going to do here. This doesn't sound great.
Now who's with me?
I'm in.
I'm in.
Me too.
Great. Then let's go get us some food.
Are they going to break in? Oh no. Where are the teachers? And I saw a quick shot of the lunchroom there. I didn't see any teachers. So particularly at an elementary school, again, I don't have a ton of experience at elementary school, but I do have some. You're going to have teachers in there. I think I mentioned this in another show or on another reaction video. The younger the students are, the more tightly controlled their day is going to be. And that includes lunch. There's going to be teachers walking around and literally just staring at them eating to make sure that no trouble starts, to make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen, that students don't wander off, that students don't hit each other or throw anything. So this would never be allowed to happen. This school has some serious supervision issues. I don't know where the teacher is. I haven't seen a teacher yet, just the lunch lady there, but let's see what happens here.
Cover me. I'm going in.
This kid's bad news. Oh man. No. And the imagery here is kind of crazy. He goes back and it's this, everything's dimly lit and dark and shadowy and there's stuff on the floor. No, it's not. Now it is somewhat industrial. Most school kitchens have kind of that industrial look with the large cookers and various appliances back there, but it's not going to be all dingy and dusty and dark. It would not be dark back there while students are eating. Most school cafeterias, there are going to be people working back there and the lights are going to be very bright. And then there's going to be a lot of activity back there preparing food or cleaning up. If they're like the last lunch, they would be cleaning up and getting ready to pack everything away. But it's just dark and there's that refrigerator of the good food, whatever that means to him. But he appears to have been caught. Let's see what happens.
Miss Finster, how nice to see you.
DJ Detweiler, we meet again. Let's look at a boy who seems to enjoy breaking school rules.
Horrible, horrible. So like rule number 1 or rule number 0, if you want to call it that, of any sort of student discipline or giving of consequences, you don't do it like this. You try not to do it in front of people at all. And you certainly don't intentionally bring them up in front of an entire cafeteria and tell everybody to look at him and he enjoys breaking school rules. It's just the exact opposite of what you should do, but here we go.
A boy who scrawled crude chalk caricatures on Principal Prickly's door, and now this, pilfering food from the cafeteria kitchen. What do you suppose we should do with a boy this bad? Say, I have an idea. No recess.
Uh-oh.
Why doesn't she just tear out his soul?
no recess. And, you know, that's about the only accurate part of this. The part of him, you know, sneaking into the food prep area of the cafeteria, that would never be allowed to happen. A teacher or whoever that was, I guess it was the teacher, bringing him in front of the entire cafeteria and talking about how bad he is in front of them, that would never happen, I hope. But taking of recess time, that does happen, and at least I'm not so sure about elementary. I believe it does. I know for middle school, when they have break time or recess time, sometimes that can be curbed. If there's some student behavior issues, you might say, or you might think, well, that's horrible. Kids need to be outside. And that's very true. But a lot of times teachers will do that in lieu of more severe consequences. In other words, you know, you don't want to take away a student's recess time, but would you rather do that or suspend them from school? Or would you rather do that or have them have some sort of more severe consequence? Obviously, you'd rather just give them maybe some indoor time during recess or whatever, and then move on. And, you know, they get it the next day or whatever. So, and of course, the other thing is the objective here is always supposed to be to correct behavior, not like this teacher and other teachers in shows I've seen that just want to really make the students suffer. It's not about that. It's about correcting behavior.
Miss Finster, those girls over there said a bad word.
Good boy, Randall. Here's your cookie.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to comment on this show. I can see why you all recommended it. So this kid, very familiar line, oh, they said a bad word. And again, I don't have a ton of experience in elementary schools. I have taught it back when I was a music teacher. I spent a couple of years doing some of that. And I do talk a lot with elementary school principals, talk to them about what they're dealing with and the differences and responsibilities and what they go through. And that line, he says here, you know, they said a bad word, you know, that is something that gets reported, but giving a student a cookie, no, you shouldn't really be giving students food like that, particularly was just kind of open. You don't normally do that. Now, can you give little treats or little candies, you know, store-bought? Yeah, that's probably fine. A lot of teachers do that as kind of an incentive or reward, but she just gives them a cookie out of her hand. I don't know where she got it, but generally you try to stick to store-bought wrapped items.
TJ! Hey guys.
How you holding out, buddy?
Oh, you know, keeping busy.
Who's with him?
But there is one thing I'd like you guys to do for me.
What's that?
Who's watching
Get
him?
me out of here!
TJ, please.
I'm going crazy in here, you guys. I've counted this.
He's been in there, what, 5 minutes? Typically, I'm not 100% sure how long an elementary school recess is, but it's not a long time. I honestly don't know what it would be, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know, but it's not a hugely long time. And it seems like it just started. So he's been in there like 5 minutes, 10 max, something like that. And he's going crazy. I think he was about to say he's counted the ceiling tiles. And my other question is, who's in there with him? Like the number one rule for school is students have to be supervised at all times for student safety, particularly in an elementary school. Like I said, the younger students are, the more restricted their day is, just because they need more care, they have more needs, they just need more supervision in general. But let's see what he does here.
Ceiling tiles 13 times already. There's 1,678. You hear me?
Yeah, nobody's in there with him.
1,678!
Don't worry, TJ, we're with you, man.
Yeah, no matter what happens, we're all in this together.
Hey, what are you guys doing there?
See ya.
You guys, come back!
Poor TJ. He's really losing it in there.
A kid without recess? It's too horrible for words. I say we go in there and bust him out. An admirable suggestion, Spinelli, but based on my calculations, any attempt of rescue has a 70% likelihood of failure. You want me and Sam to dig under the lunchroom, break through the floor, and bust TJ out just...
Where are the teachers? No one's noticing that whoever these people are digging holes in the ground. It says China or bust. And kids do this. They'll just, dig a hole and just see how deep they can get it. Kids do that, but they wouldn't be allowed to do it at school and just tear up the the playground. And I guess this one teacher is the only one that's out there, which, you know, is not unusual if it's just her class. But she's got to watch them better than this. And the kid, TJ, would not have, if he had some sort of recess detention or whatever, or I couldn't go outside, somebody's going to be with him. He's not going to just be thrown in a room by himself and left there. At least I hope not. This school's got some problems, I think. But let's see.
Just so we can have recess?
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Neat.
See, I told you these guys are good.
Hey, Dave, you're digging the wrong way. Are you crazy? That's how you get to the principal's office.
Hey, who's gone crazy? Stupid. Stupid. I'll show you stupid.
Oh, no.
They're not gonna help us, are they?
Not in a million years.
Swing, 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 swing.
I'm telling you, the swinger's always up for a new adventure. She loves this kind of stuff.
What's she doing now?
Trying to go over the top of the swing set.
That's
To
dangerous.
boldly go where no kid has gone before.
Great. But will she help us?
Sure. As soon as she gets back from the nurse.
I can't believe we're gonna talk to kindergartners. It's humiliating.
No one else help us. I've been studying these primitive grades for some time now, and I think I can communicate with them. Follow me. Hello, kindergartners! We have come from the land of the big kids, across the wide playground, to ask your help. Let's eat 'em.
That's an impressive playground. I've seen a lot of playgrounds. Usually they're not that big or that elaborate. That's a pretty big playground.
Bob's the king of the playground. If he helps, the other kids will follow.
He better help or he's gonna meet my good friend, Madam Fist.
Listen, Spinelli, dealing with the kid up Bob's stack shoot takes finesse, not brawn. So let me do the talking, okay? Oh, great King Bob, overseer of the playground,
Who is this
vizier of the jungle gym. We come to ask your royal favor. You see, my liege, our best friend TJ was caught by the finster, and we gotta bust him out.
Hey, get that first grader off of my sand.
Hey,
Oh, man.
What I'm trying to say here, Your Highness, is that we can't do it alone.
Yeah, we really, really need your help.
I've got better things to do than worry about some dumb kid.
Who does he think he is calling TJ some dumb kid?
Now, Spinelli, you promised.
You sit there on your 6th grade butt, ruling over the playground like some sort of big shot. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Playground King. You are nothing but some dumb kid.
Spinelli, she didn't mean that, Your Highness.
I'm afraid I have to concur with my violent friend.
Well,
I mean, technically, she is correct. Bob is dumb and he is a kid.
And if you think about it, we're all just some dumb kid to somebody in this crazy mixed up universe.
My big brother thinks I'm some dumb kid.
My mom
That's horrible.
called me some dumb kid just this morning.
I
Wow.
bet even you've been called some dumb kid at some time or another, right, Mr. King Bob, sir?
So next time you go around calling a guy some dumb kid, just remember this. You're one too. And let's face it, Bob, if us dumb kids don't stand up for each other, who will?
The girl's right. Kids of the playground! The dumb kid should be freed!
Oh, boy. Is she the only teacher in this school? I'd said before that if it's just her class out here, I could see her being the only one. But if there's kindergartners and 4th graders and 6th graders out there at the same time, there's going to be multiple teachers. There's going to be a teacher for each one of those groups. So I have an issue with that. I don't think this one person can supervise all those kids. Obviously not if they're digging holes to China and plotting escapes or break-ins. I'm not optimistic about what's going to happen here, but let's see. Oh, no. There's the kindergartners doing whatever they're going to do.
It's jammed. Stand back. I've got just the stuff. Tomato surprise.
Okay. Okay. What happened? He broke out.
TJ, what are you doing out there?
Again, I'm like, who works at this school? Is it just the kids and that one lady? This is kind of crazy. Okay, apparently, they're able to just do whatever they want. But he apparently breaks out while they're trying to break him out, and I guess no one's noticed. Let's see how this plays out.
What are you guys doing in there?
That's my question as well.
All right.
Since you seem so eager to return to the classroom, you'll be happy to learn that recess will be over just about now.
No. No.
Well,
I guess that's
TJ,
30
we
minutes.
did our best.
Yeah, sorry we didn't get to you in time.
Hey, come on. You guys did something most kids wouldn't even try. You're the best friends a guy could ever have.
Thanks, TJ.
Actually, it was a relatively entertaining recess.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we had Upside Down Girl, the Swinger, the Diggers.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the Diggers anyway?
Okay. Well, that is the first episode of Recess, the Break-In. And these are kind of grouped in pairs as well, just like Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. So I will do the next one called The New Kid next time on the next video. But this one was pretty good. I can see why you guys recommended this one to me. Not for its realism per se. Most of the stuff in this show or this first episode was not that realistic. It does bring up a lot of issues to talk about and to comment on. This little hierarchy that they talk about with this guy does kind of exist on some level or another, the way the different students kind of interact with each other. And there is, you know, some of these feelings on the playground, but as far as this school is horrible when it comes to student supervision, because they're able to do all this stuff without anybody noticing. And then this teacher so far is just horrible in her attitude. And I have met teachers like that, unfortunately. I'm excited to see more of this. Thank you for recommending it to me. If there are any specific episodes you want me to be on the lookout for, please put it in the comments. Or if you'd like me to just go one at a time all the way through, I can do that also. Please let me know, because again, I have not seen this series before. I do remember the music though. Growing up, I heard it somewhere. But I really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed, and I'll see you next time on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.